Welcome back, guys. So today we've got exciting news indeed concerning the SD2SNES. So previously we reported on the Super FX chip being incorporated into the official firmware for the device, and that was flippin' awesome. We also briefly spoke on SA-1 coming very soon. So this is a dream for a lot of people. FX and SA-1 on the SD2SNES. That is damn near as close to 100% compatibility as we can get. Well, today is the day, my boys and girls. We finally have SA-1 for the SD2SNES. So some of you might be saying, what the heck's SA-1, the GSU-1? You know, there's tons of different chips. Well, essentially what these were was a lot of games wound up pushing the Super Nintendo to its limits, and some of these cartridges needed, some additional hardware and chips to even go beyond that. So there's tons of different games out there that use special chips to, kind of enhance certain features of the game, graphics, sound, just different memory things. A lot of little things, we're not really digging into that right now. But SA-1 in particular is one that does have a nice handful of games that were released in the US that people really want to play. There's over 30 games released worldwide using the SA-1 chip, but in the US, like I said, there's really only a handful that people are really excited about, but there are some awesome ones for sure. The biggest one is going to be Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. So that uses SA-1. The others would be like Kirby Superstar, and Kirby's Dream Land. Those are other ones that use the SA-1 chip, and now we can play those plus a bunch of other awesome games and Japanese import SA-1 games that a lot of people have enjoyed. So we're going to go ahead and pop this onto our SD2SNES and test it out and see if it works. So I'm pretty sure it does, but if you're going to want to test this out and check it out along with me, first thing you're going to want to do is go to this GitHub page, Red Guy's GitHub page for the SA-1 initial beta release. So this is a beta version. You are going to have to put this over top of the official firmware, and you'll go ahead and download the SD2SNES SA-1 version 02.zip right here. Source code is available as well, and there is a README text in that zip that you can take a look at so you understand how this works, which we'll go ahead and do right now. So this right here, I have my memory card for my SD2SNES opened up right here. So essentially I have all my games, Smoke Monster Pack, of course, and then we're going to go down to the SD2SNES folder. So we're going to go ahead and leave that open for now, and then once you've downloaded the zip right here, you're going to unzip it and you'll have a folder like such. You're going to have two items. The README we'll go ahead and take a quick look at. This is a beta. Expect crashes and unusual behavior in SA-1 games. Always have to give you a heads up. Hey, there may be issues. This is a beta version, so don't trip if you notice something. But we're going to go ahead and peep that out in a moment. To install, copy all the files in the SD2SNES directory, the firmware.img, FPGA SA1.bit directory into the SD2SNES directory on your SD card. You should have a working version of SD2SNES 1.8.0 firmware on your card before doing this. And in order to find that out, boot up your cart, your SD2SNES, to see which firmware you're on. You're going to press X and then go on over to System Information, and it'll show you right there. So you need to verify that is the firmware you have. And then once you've copied these files over, reboot or put your memory card back into the SD2SNES, open her up and do the same thing. Press X to go to the little menu options and go to System Information. And you need to verify that the version says 1.8.0-SA1-V number sign in the SD2SNES menu after copying those files over. We'll go ahead and get that going now and test out some games. So very simple stuff. What we need to do is take the two files from the SA-1 zip that we got there, the FPGA file and the SA-1 firmware file, drag them on over to the SD2SNES folder that is within the SD card for the device. Go ahead and let them copy on over. Good to go. Take the SD card out, put it back in the cartridge. Let's boot her up and test out some games. Let's do it. Okay guys, so we got the SD2SNES booted up on our analog Super NT. Really love that system. But obviously this cartridge can be used on original hardware and most clone hardware out there. I haven't seen too many that have had an issue with that. So obviously, like I said, I am using Smoke Monster's pack. Pretty sweet stuff. Definitely love his work. A lot of appreciation there. Check him out on YouTube and social media everywhere. Just look for Smoke Monster. Awesome dude. Really does a lot for the community. And it is appreciated, bro. So here, I'm going to go ahead and go down to unsupported chip games. Sort by chip type. And we're going to go to SA-1 chips. So these are all our SA-1 games that don't work in the SD2SNES. Until now, that is. So lots of cool little games, a lot of little Japanese exclusives. We do have some English translations on stuff, like Dragon Ball Z Hyper Dimension. We have a few different translations on there, one in English, so that's pretty sweet. Bunch of cool games. The Kirby games, like I said, are a couple of the big ones. Marvelous. What else do we got? Some golf games that, hey, if you're into golf. Power Rangers Zeo Battle Racers. What? That was an SA-1 game. Okay, we can play that now. SD Gundam, Super Bomberman, Panic Bomber World, Super Mario RPG. That's the big one. That's the one a lot of people want to play. So let's go ahead and boot her up and see if she works. If this unsupported chip game works. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. This is my first time booting up any SA-1 games on this cartridge. And wow, that sounds good. Looks good so far. That is flipping awesome. Definitely some really cool stuff here. This really brings it to a whole other level. You know, a lot of people have said the SD2SNES is an expensive ass flash cart, and I fully agree with, you know, it being close to $200. It is very pricey. You know, being able to preserve and being able to play, you know, the pretty much damn near damn near 100% of the library, you know, not exactly, but getting pretty darn close now, you know, on original hardware or clone hardware, using original controllers, playing the games the way, you know, they were meant to be played, I think is well worth it. There's so many games in the Super Nintendo, especially ones that use special chips that the SD2SNES supports, that are so expensive. They're just out of the you know, price range for me anyway. You know, it's the Mega Man X2 and 3 games. Those are hundreds upon hundreds of dollars. You know, a game like this, Super Mario RPG, not necessarily the most expensive game in the world, probably hovering around $40-50. But hey, it's sweet that this now supports it with all the Super FX games, the CX4 games, the DSP games. Just, it's really, to me, the value is there. It's still, you know, for some people maybe hard to swallow that $200, but it's flipping awesome that, you know, we're getting more value out of it. Let me go ahead and go back to the main menu. We see Mario RPG works just fine. Let's go back to the SA-1. You know, I'm kind of curious with this English Dragon Ball Z Hyper Dimension. That's an SA-1 game. Let's go ahead and see if it boots up. I'm pretty sure it's just a fighting game. I've never played it before. I know I've heard of it. You know, some people who are really into Dragon Ball. So this might be one that a lot of people are looking forward to playing. Definitely the Kirby games are going to be, you know, a couple of them anyway. Yeah, this is going to be a fighting game here. Versus computer. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright. It's kind of like a little, whatever. Alright, let's fight this fool. Nice. Oh, snap. I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing here, but screw it. The game's running, so that's pretty sweet. I'm sure some people will be really happy about that. So yes, this is definitely a fighting game. I have no clue what I'm doing, but it's still pretty cool to see this running. Definitely awesome stuff. So, hey, I really do appreciate you guys stopping in. I'll have all the links in the description so you can go ahead and get the beta firmware to test out on your SD2SNES. Really sweet to be able to do this and play these games now on this device. Awesome stuff. So, with that said, guys, slap that like button around, beat it up a little bit. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. That is definitely appreciated. Check me out on Twitter. And hey, if you want to show support to the channel, it is greatly appreciated and helps me continue doing what I'm doing. It's a little as $1 a month on Patreon helps out greatly. And we do have some awesome giveaways we do every single month for our patrons and some exclusive content and a lot of other things that go on over there. So hey, if interested, peep it out. If not, that's cool too, but hey, might as well bring it up, right? So with that said, guys, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out, bye-bye, and boom!